Okay. We're looking at the market right now. Let's take a look at the market. Price of Pulse is 0.40662 and market cap 1 billion. This is excluding the OA. But the most interesting numbers to look at is PulseX, right? Because PulseX has got that sweet buy and burn mechanism. So we're burning that PulseX. So the price, though, not looking good, right? The price of PulseX is 0.40209, and it's minus 87% from sack phase. But if you want to look at how much we've burned 558 billion. And I think Ether is 2.71%. I mean, I think it's saying 2.17% of the total supply that's been burnt. But this number seems strong, right? The liquidity, that's the amount that's on the market, right? That's the amount that's available to both buy and sell. And there's 1.6 trillion. That is a huge amount that is on the market that is available for the most part on PulseX. For the most part on PulseX. Guys, hello, guys. Just say hello in the chat. Say hello in the chat. So I'm hoping to start streaming something like 3 times a week, right? So that, but my schedule is really tight. It's hard for me to get to have a fixed time for streaming, but I want to start streaming about 3 times a week and dropping a video, maybe about 1 video a day, the ones I normally drop, or maybe sometimes 2, and maybe skip a day here or a day, because my schedules right now, they're extremely busy, they're very busy. So it's hard to actually have a fixed that I can actually stick to, but I'm sorting that out over time. Now, yeah, so PulseX, the sweet number, the sweet burning is good. And we'll take a look at the volumes as well, right? Then we have incentive token. Incentive token, I've never really been that much into incentive token, right? So if you I think most people who play around with incentive tokens are farming it. I have never heard people talking about dollar cost averaging into the incentive token. And if you're DCAing into incentive token, let me know if you're DCAing into incentive token. And then we've got the good old Hex on PulseChain. Hex on PulseChain 0.012 volume 1 million in the last 24 hours. Then we have supply. Now the thing is that these are numbers on chain numbers, so it doesn't include centralized exchange numbers. But again, centralized exchange numbers for PulseChain are not that huge. They're not that big. Jacobs Hex ladder. Hello, how you doing? How you doing, Mr. Jacobs? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Happy Friday. Yeah, and then we'll jump on to we'll jump on to Twitter as well to see what's happening in the space as well, because Twitter, that's where we get all the news, to see if Richard Hart has posted anything or we get any new information. But for the most part, the entirety of the crypto space is kind of quiet-ish. There isn't that much news. I mean, everyone is talking about the same old news that that we've heard many times. Right now, the hot thing to talk about is the ETF. But if you want to hear anything about the ETF, is that the ETF is, in my view, people think that it's the holy grail that's going to drive price up. But I think that anyone who wants to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now we're talking about an XRP ETF, I think they already can buy it on the market. So they don't need an ETF to come for them to get exposure to crypto. So I think that ETF is good for the long term, but I don't see an ETF being a short-term pumpermental. I don't see that being a short-term pumpermental. And it would be nice, though, to get a PulseChain ETF. That's definitely will be moving PulseChain towards to make it a more mainstream asset. Because right now, it's in the crypto space, it's not yet as mainstream as mainstream as many of us would like. It's not as mainstream. So there's 9 of us right now, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah. So say hello in the chat, guys. Let's make this as interactive as possible. So let's just jump onto Twitter. Let's take a quick look and see what's happening on Twitter. Okay, here okay, see Moon King roots. Yeah, the facts. We live in a bubble. Richard Hart isn't big enough. Nobody knows him outside of crypto. Sad to say it, but it's the truth. He doesn't sway enough people to make a difference in the in the vote in 2024. He doesn't even live in America. This politics stuff is not a big. I don't care much for politics. Plus, obviously, yeah. What I want to see is number go up, and yeah, that's what I would like to see. Actually saw a spicy tweet from Eric Wall earlier today, right? Right, Eric Wall really every now and then he gets back to tweeting about Pulse Chain. So he tweeted this about yeah, it says if you want to understand how retarded the Federal Reserve really is, they brought in an ex reserve Fed Reserve guy to be a critic in the Richard Hart documentary. And after learning about it, he became a Hexican and teaches Hex to his students in classrooms now. So it is a slight dig at Hex, well, it's a dig at both, right? A dig at the Federal Reserve and of Hex. But this is a testament as well to the Pulse Chain, to Hex, to the technology behind it. It's if someone can come to critic but end up saying, well, actually, this is pretty cool. So it is good like that. Another thing is this, right? Obviously, if you're a Bitcoiner, you would have known that this space has been criticized from all directions. So this is definitely not a new thing. Okay, I know a guy that invested 5K into Casper, and it's now, according to the screenshot, 27 million. And yeah, look, everyone's been talking about Casper is another one that people are talking about right now. Right? I mean, yesterday people were talking about, and the day before that, or the day before that, people were talking about Solana. People were mad about Solana, and now people are mad about this Casper coin. It's a layer 2 solution. I actually looked it up. It's a layer 2 solution, so it's layer 2 only means they talk about scaling Ethereum and all that other good stuff, but for the most part, most of those products are competing with Ethereum, even though they talk a good game about scaling Ethereum. And Casper is the one that people are talking about right now. But the one thing that I think is important to think about is the case for diversification, right? I'm not too big on it, but I do think that there is some room for diversifying. But now, if you'd ask me which ecosystem is the best to diversify in, if you want to diversify, right now, I think for me personally, I don't know one that I think is well priced for maximum gains. That can be the ones that you can, the type of gains you can expect on Pulse Chain. I don't know which chain can give you that. But I do think that there's a case for diversification, because I mean, this definitely looks juicy. If someone can turn 5 grand into 27 million in a bear market, that's good, because that's life-changing gains there, and you don't have to wait for the next halving cycle of Bitcoin. You can just enjoy the gains. So yeah, I do think that is a case for some diversification. Okay, so I suppose Justin SEC mentions reason for delaying global X spot Bitcoin ETF are due to serious concerns about BTC price manipulation and fraud. They are requiring answers for numerous questions from the firm before they make a final decision on January 2024. So yeah, this ETF thing is coming. For the most part, it's most likely going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. But one of the things that you've got to think about if you're thinking about buy the rumor, sell the news is if you're getting into a bull market, yeah, maybe selling the news is not a good idea. Maybe just eat up the dip. If the dip comes, might be the best strategy. Hey, Elon Musk to the moon. Okay, let's just take a look at Richard Hart and see what Richard Hart has anything new to say here. Okay, no, I think we've seen these tweets before. Yeah, it's mostly focused on regulatory stuff and really kind of some of the political arguments, which I think are very, very important. And giving where crypto is right now, those are very, very important things right now. Where will you retire to Hexicans? Live in less than 30 minutes. My favorite non-crypto channel. Or where will you retire to? I don't know where I saw this, right? I don't know where I saw this. I heard the story of that. There's a lot of crypto people that moved to Puerto Rico and they kind of started regretting it. They're like, oh my God, why am I in Puerto Rico? I want to go back where I came. Yeah, because obviously you moved there, then now maybe friends and family are not as close as they were before, and it's a whole you need to a whole new learning new things, getting to know about a new environment and all that other good stuff. So yeah, this one thing to think about if you are thinking about, okay, look, I made my gains, I want to move. So many decks, so many meme coins, so much energy wasted in 6 months chasing new shiny objects in a bear market. All you had to do was stick to the basics. Hex Pulse, rally behind RH coins is what makes price go up. Anything else slows down the process. I disagree completely. Shiny thing syndrome is a real thing that many of us have. People are gonna want shiny new things no matter what. And to say that just buy RH products is not it's the wrong thing to say. I'll say this because of this. Now, the time I realized that saying that is the wrong thing to say was on the sacrifice phase. When the sacrifice phase started. During the sacrifice phase, people sacrificed for Pulse, I think, almost $1 billion. And the question that I had when I saw those numbers going into the sacrifice address was, why didn't people use this money to just simply buy more Hex? Because back then there was only one asset. So when Richard Hart announced PulseChain, instead of people going to buy the dip on Hex or driving up the price of Hex up, people just chose to sacrifice because they wanted the shiny new thing. And the shiny new thing back then was Pulse. After that, the shiny new thing was PulseX. So shiny thing syndrome is a real thing that we can't wish away. It's something that exists, something that most likely will be here for a very long time. We just got to embrace it. Now, if we want price performance, the one thing that drives price performance is adoption. We need to get more people in the space. We need to get more people using PulseChain. We need to get more of that. More people building. That's what we need. If we can get some really kick-ass applications being built, I think that can drive adoption more than anything else. Nothing else can do better than obviously onboarding new people. That's evangelizing, talking about the products, and then builders as well. With lots of people forking, yeah. But if we can start getting like innovation starting from PulseChain and then going over to other chains as well. And I think that for builders, PulseChain is a very attractive platform simply because it's still a young platform. Yeah, we did fork the entire Ethereum system state, but we still are a young ecosystem without a huge developer ecosystem. So if you're a developer, would you rather be developing in an ecosystem where there is maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 other 10 other teams, or where there's thousands? Ethereum, it's very, very difficult for developers to stand out, right? Because there's lots of them. But on PulseChain, it's not that difficult. Developers can really easily stand out. And there is this big microphone, which is the PulseChain ecosystem. If you look at how many people make PulseChain content, I think almost 200 that I know of, right? There's this whole list on Twitter, you can find it, that tells you how many people are making PulseChain content. And if you're a builder and you've got access to that, that's the place you want to be. That's the place you want to be. So Gideon, what's up? With PulseX and the idea of owning the casino topped off with the buy and burn, wouldn't that make PulseX a better buy, given that it went much lower from Sacred compared to PulseChain? Okay, this is the good old PulseX versus PulseChain, and for me, it's pretty simple, right? If you go to Ethereum, ETH is more valuable than Uniswap, right? So PulseChain is PLS is the ETH, and Uniswap is the PulseX on Ethereum. So the more valuable asset is the chain token, the gas token. Go on Solana, the gas token, the Sol is more valuable than anything else. Go to Matic, go to Avalanche, go anywhere, any chain. The blockchain chain is more valuable. Now, the tokenomics of PulseX are clearly superior to the tokenomics of PulseChain. No argument there. But what I think drives price more than anything else is speculation. The onboards, what are they going to value more? Are they going to value PulseX more, or are they going to value Pulse? And then you've got the second piece, right? The second piece is the assets that are bonded together with liquidity usually move up or move down together. So when you have a pulse chain pump, you're most likely going to have a PulseX pump. You're also most likely going to have an incentive token pump, a hex pump as well. So all the assets that are really bonded together with liquidity will move up. Now, this rule matters a great deal when it comes to pulse chain because the liquidity between these assets is thick. These are the biggest liquidity pool, I think, has to be the PulseX pair. So for you to make one pump more than the other, it takes a lot of economic energy to do that, but it's still possible. So I think I think that the tokenomics are superior of PulseX, but I don't think that it can pump harder than Pulse. Please explain the difference between PulseChain, Solana, Arbitrum. They all have fast block times. Okay, yeah. Solana, I've looked at it, right? But I haven't really looked at it deep. I haven't looked at how the technology works. But yeah, all they say that they can. The biggest problem blockchains have is scalability, right? They can only do certain number of transactions per second, and so Solana, they're saying that they can do much more. Same thing with Arbitrum. They're saying that they have their technology can do a lot more. But these blockchains now, the problem that they do have is one of centralization. I'm sure you've heard about Solana going down for several hours at a time. And Arbitrum, I don't know how many validators it has, but I'm tempted to say probably not that many. I think maybe one or two validators and most of these are very, very much centralized. The only decentralized blockchain out there has to be Ethereum and PulseChain, right? If you're talking about smart contract platforms. So I would say Bitcoin, Ethereum, PulseChain. Because most of these other things have centralized entities that have control over them. Now, there is an argument against PulseChain to say that, well, PulseChain also has elements. It could have centralization because it's proof of stake. Proof of stake means validation. To be a validator, you need coins. And the argument is that there's an entity that owns 90% of the coins, so they can own a controlling stake. And so that's the aspect of, there's an aspect of a potential centralization risk. But when you look at the other chains, they don't have potential risk. They actually are centralized. So if you look at all of the other ones, you look at you're talking Matic, you're talking Arbitrum, Solana, they actually are centralized. And Solana has gone down several times. So someone chose to take it down and bring it back up. Take it down, bring it back up. So there is that thing. And guys, thank you guys for jumping in. Thank you guys for showing the love, for jumping on the stream. Thank you very much. It means a lot because when you come in like this, it tells YouTube to start pumping up to start shielding the stream to more people. And that's very, very important because I haven't been making content for a long time. So YouTube likes to punish you for that. So if people are jumping in the stream, that's giving the punishment in the algorithm a big middle finger saying, hey man, David's our guy. We're not punishing him. We are coming back with a bang. Right. So yeah. Everyone is riding on the success of Hex, hoping to get rich again. Yeah. It's hi from Sweden, PulseChain Army. Yep, how you doing, PulseChain Army? PulseChain is the third most decentralized blockchain in the world. No insider VC who are going to dump on the public constantly. That's one big risk that you have on many of those chains where you can, where the VCs, they can come and dump on your head. 50K plus validators. Now, these numbers were really astounding to me when I saw them, right? Because when you saw soon after launch, you had the number of validators just kept on increasing. And yeah, that's a testament to how decentralized PulseChain is. And it's also a testament as to how in this the community is. That the community is in this hands deep. Not scared to get hands dirty. People are validators. Because if you look at other chains, most of it is just people are in it for the money. And nothing wrong with being in it for the money only. But then what you end up having is these ecosystems that are highly, highly centralized, where all the trading happens on centralized exchanges. Now, this, if you look at the numbers, right, they in many cases they don't make sense at all. Because if you look at, for example, Shiba Inu, if you go on CoinGecko, Coin Market Cap, and you look at the volume that Shiba Inu has, right, on centralized exchanges, Then if you compare that volume with the volume that they have on chain, it's laughable. They don't have any volume on chain at all. And it just goes to show that people are just in it for the money, and they don't really care much about the ecosystem as much. I want to show you something, right? Okay, so here we see, let's go PulseChain. If you go here on PulseChain, you'll see PulseChain has 16 million volume, right? So Shiba Inu, they launched their own chain. And I want to take a look and see how much Shibarium, right? Shibarium, they have 99,000 volume on the entire chain, $99,000 in the last 24 hours, right? So it tells you a lot. So other communities, they are really heavily on leaning on these centralized exchanges a great deal, and which is not the same for PulseChain. So the decentralized is on point. Now, if you look at recently, Richard Hart on the hex.com website, you can now stake, do all of that stuff in a very decentralized way, right? You can now, if you look at, because it's now all hosted on IPFS, that means that the ecosystem is becoming less and less dependent on Richard Hart. I gotta say this, right? I do wish there was a way that a lot of this stuff. Now, Richard Hart is building in stealth mode, right? But unfortunately, he cannot talk much about what he's doing. He cannot pump bags the way he used to have streams and talk about, okay, guys, imagine we had this, imagine if we had this. So he has to build a decentralized, resilient ecosystem in stealth mode, because now you can use the bridge. It's hosted on IPFS, so it's not dependent on the website. It's completely decentralized. But what I would have liked is to have Richard Hart be actually out there talking about this, telling people that, look, guys, this is the situation. Things are like this. We're moving in this direction. And that would really make all of us, it would direct the energy of marketing, the energy of talking, the energy of shilling into one thing. And that, I think, in my view, would attract a lot more people. But right now, we've got everyone who's doing their own thing. It's not really focused, targeted, right? And for the most part, people are saying, hey, this coin is bad, this coin is bad, this is why Pulse is not pumping, this is why, instead of focusing on what's being done, which is phenomenal. And just another thing, that when Hex.com moved over to IFPS, some people are complaining, saying, well, they prefer the old user experience. Well, this is more decentralized. When crypto for the decentralization, for economic sovereignty over your crypto, now you have more of that. You are being empowered, right? So the convenience is not a good argument, saying that I want more convenience. No, what you need is the decentralization, the Bitcoin way, right? Because when Bitcoin started, that's how those fundamentals looked as well. When Bitcoin started, it was a lot, very much decentralized. It was very much grassroots. I suppose now you could say that even though Richard Hart not being around is not good for, he's around, right? But it's not really good for price. If he was able to talk about what he's doing, it'd be great for price. But this is similar to Bitcoin, right? But if you think about the bruises and the pain that Bitcoin has had to endure in order to make it the success that it became, I don't know, man. I don't think I would like that for the ecosystem. I wish everything would just be so simple, and they would not be empty coiner. How you doing? Awesome. Good member for 6 months, guys. Oh my god. Thank you for the support. Okay, this is a cool name. The Banana Junkie. When Moon, RH live stream equals Moon. Definitely, RH live stream equals Moon, and it also equals really direction and Gideon. Initially, Vitalik was the light for success of Ethereum, but now Ethereum thrives, and Vitalik is orders of magnitude less relevant than when it was first developed. 100%. I think at this point, Vitalik is completely irrelevant in the Ethereum ecosystem. Well, he's not completely irrelevant, right? I mean, his words still carry a lot of power, but the ecosystem can flourish without him. And there are other players as well that are very, very important in the space as well. Talk about the devs. Talk about the Uniswap guys. I'll say that they're very powerful there, right? Consensus. So Ethereum is a lot more decentralized. It's not as dependent on Vitalik. So hopefully, I think you're obviously saying that PulseChain will move in the same direction. It'll be the same thing. Yeah, I agree with you that it'll definitely move in that direction. Obviously, I wouldn't have wanted it to be so early, but it is what it is. Yeah, generally the chain is more valued, but look at times based on chain activity. PulseChain could be slightly inflationary or stagnant, but PulseX will forever be deflationary. Yes, but they're still bonded together, right? They're still bonded together. They're still bonded together. I think it's a possibility. RH hasn't live streamed, so he couldn't get uh, served. The lawsuit via comment goes a long way with this Twitter. Yeah, there's definitely yeah, there's a lot. There's that speculation. I agree with you. Yeah, that speculation is there, and hopefully this. I think we're gonna hear some. I think by the end of November we'll know more. So we'll have to wait for now and see how things unfold. Crypto keeper, thank you for the $10, $9.99. Why is it that Pulse influencers think that they have a crystal ball? According to all the major guys like you, Crypto Coffee and others claimed it would pump. We are below sacrifice price. That's poor quality. Well, okay. Crypto keeper. Obviously, a lot changed during the sacrifice phase and the launch of the sacrifice change. A lot changed. First of all, we did not expect the development of PulseChain to take 2 years, right? And when it was announced, the market was still, no, Richard hadn't called the top of the market, but it wasn't a certainty that we were in a bear market back then. And then bear market did what bear markets do. Prices continue to crash. Now I'm going to give you some hardcore alpha now. Prices continue to crash badly, and then PulseChain was not immune. Launch came up, we expected, and when the launch came up, guys, we should remember that a lot of people had given up. I mean, I remember a lot of comment section saying that, guys, PulseChain will never launch. People said that, right? People said that, and people were angry. There was a lot of really anger in the ecosystem. So the environment changed a great deal. The environment changed a great deal. And this is not unique to PulseChain only, right? I mean, if you think about it, think about even Elon Musk when he decided to buy Twitter, and then the valuations went down and he wanted to back out of it, but he couldn't back out of it, right? And then he was forced to buy Twitter at the initial price, even though the prices of everything was going down, because obviously things had changed a great deal, even in the economy. So that's one thing. So I think that I would definitely be more understanding and say that, okay, yeah, so it makes sense that people could have a perspective that people did not have to hit the right price prediction because of, first of all, the time it took to launch PulseChain, which was unexpected for anybody. No one expected it to take 2 years, right? And then the market as a whole, the market crashed as a whole in traditional assets, in all of the stuff. I mean, what's the saying? The hens came to roost, right? Something like that. And then we had inflation going insane with all that stuff happening. And then that's all the stuff that happened. Now, and then the other point is this, right? The bottom line is, like you said, no one has a crystal ball. That's the honest truth. No one has a crystal ball. No one at all. And I do think a lot of people do this for marketing purposes, right? Say, oh, I predicted this and it happened. I predicted this and it happened. And my view is like this. There's no science to this. There's absolutely no science. And for the most part, these are all probabilities. So anytime you're playing with probabilities, you do know that if you have a 50% chance of being right, if you have a 60% of chance being right, if you have a 70% of chance being right, that means there's also a possibility of being wrong. And that works all the time. And I'll say this again. Nobody has a historically proven scientific formula to get price predictions correct. So whenever you hear price prediction, don't take it as though you've been promised something that, oh my God, this guy promised me the price was going to go up and now it didn't go up. So scammer. Because the truth is nobody has... I mean, if you can show me a formula that works. I mean, Richard Hart says I call the top of Bitcoin, but still, it's the same thing. If you can show me a formula, a mathematical formula that you can use again and again to predict prices accurately, then I will believe it. But otherwise, besides that, it's always a matter of probabilities. And probabilities means that there's absolutely no absolutes at all. So no, it's good marketing, right? I know this. because I see it. If someone says I predicted this and it came out right, people are more likely to believe that person. People are more likely to be what's the word? I'm trying to think of the word. People are more likely to trust that and say, okay, this is an authority figure because he predicted this before, so he's an authority figure. Just like someone will say that, well, people will say things like, look, I created 10 multi-billion-dollar companies, right? It gives that person credibility. So it makes you in your head, it makes some things tick, ting, 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 ting. But when it comes to price predictions, it's not in ultimate science. It's still a matter of probabilities, and probabilities means that you should always give room for uncertainty in those probabilities. Okay, it's bigger than him now. Oh, I assume you're talking about PulseChain. When is which? Oh my God, crypto paper route. I think it's been playing it smart since they haven't been able to. Yeah, there was no point to sacrifice them. Okay, if the point, yeah, if you're trying to say that you would have, it depends what you sacrificed. If you sacrificed Hex, you are that was the right decision. But if you sacrificed fiat, yeah, you would have. The best thing to do was to not sacrifice and buy the dip at 0.0403. Like to buy, like say that's like about 3-4 weeks ago. That was the best time to. That was the best thing to do. Yeah. What does being served mean? Okay, if someone wants to take you to court, you have to receive the documents, the files that you are wanted, right? If you don't receive them, you haven't been served, so there's no way of knowing, right? Yes, there was a point to sack, skip the line, and locked in at that rate. If you sack Hicks, you go you got the value then, not the price now. Yeah, you sacrifice Hex, you got a good deal, a great deal. If not airdrop to holders, it should have been injected. And okay, guys, okay, yeah. Another thing about sacrifice, right? I mean, sacrifice means sacrifice. Now, this is one of those things that I said again and again. I said sacrifice means sacrifice, and I know people thought that sacrifice means sacrifice, wink, wink, sacrifice. But I said this a lot, and people used to argue with me that no, you're wrong. Sacrifice does not mean sacrifice. It's really this. No, when you sacrifice, you sacrifice. And another thing that I said was that people will say that a billion was sacrificed. Imagine if that goes into liquidity. Imagine if that goes into investing in project. And I said none of that is going to happen. Sacrifice means sacrifice. And the example I gave was Hicks. There was an adoption amplifier, and people were told have no expectations of profit from it. And the right thing to do was to have no expectations of profit from the funds that went into the adoption amplifier when it was Hicks. Same logic here. Now, if you ask what's the reason to sacrifice, if sacrifice means sacrifice, well, because the thesis was that the value of the token of the tokens that are that would be airdropped would go up in value at some point, maybe. But sacrifice means sacrifice. Credibility. If not airdropped to holders, it should have been injected into liquidity. Yeah, that's another thing again that I knew would not happen, injecting it into liquidity. Because if you look at things like what Richard talks about, Hart's law, you look at things about how Hex is traded. Low liquidity has been used as an advantage for price appreciation. So I did not see a need for Richard to put up liquidity if having low liquidity can be an advantage. Some tried to serve me once, but had misspelled my name, so I wasn't served or sued in the end. What's up, Mexicans? What's up? The sacrifice set received a lot of additional airdrops as being part of that group. Also, future airdrops as well. Yeah. Look, I think the sacrifice set definitely will receive a lot over time. If you looked into Titan X yet, no, I haven't. Unfortunately, I kind of think I wish I did look into it, but I didn't. Like right now, I'm not too excited about many new projects. But just looking at some of the numbers, I think Titan X is probably doing well. I think so. I think it's doing well comparative to other projects that are launching right now. I think it's okay. Jake Sharp on automatic no for me. Let me just. I think Titan X is doing well, and the thing is that uh, well, now there's many Titans here, right? So it's hard to know which one is it. Okay, yeah, I don't know which one it is, but I think the numbers for Titan X are at least the volume is good. And the one thing about many of the projects, and I think it's holding, the thing about many of the projects is that they start off with a bang, but then they kind of fizzle out quickly. But I don't think Titan X is doing that. So I think it's done a lot better than I'd anticipated. And but I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know how it works and all that stuff. But yeah, Jake Sharp. I got into Up and Up X recently. Yeah, I don't know about those coins. What I would like to see is I want to see some innovation, some stuff being built, some useful stuff being built, and that's what I'd like to see. But like if I had to choose one thing, I think that the most important thing has to be adoption, getting more people onto Pulse Chain. That's more important than anything else. Prediction time, Pulse 0.301 to 3 after November, this next bull run. Those are some good predictions. Didn't the Titan X founder get caught pre-minting a bunch of coins for himself? I don't know. I don't know. I guess nobody cares because it's par for the course. Well, look, if he did something dodgy, I don't know if that's part of the course. So I haven't looked into it. So yeah, I think if you read white paper, it will be interesting to. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at the white paper. I'll take a look at the white paper. Let's just jump back onto Twitter and see if there's anything happening on Twitter. Yeah, sharing screen is an interesting thing. I mean, you don't want the screen to go somewhere. When you share the screen, you don't want the screen to go at the wrong address, right? Like BitBoy was shared something that kind of revealed part of his history, which did not look good. Okay, let's take a look at Somi. Somi always, the good thing about Somi is he always has a lot of the news stuff that's happening in the space and good alpha. Pulse Chain ecosystem is growing. There's lots of DeFi projects. Pulse Chain is real DeFi. So yeah, you see all of the stuff that's on Pulse Chain right now. And this is another thing that has to be said, right? That we do have a flourishing ecosystem, and there is stuff happening on Pulse Chain. So that's a good thing. Coinbase offers 6% yield. Okay. Okay, so boys don't understand that downloading Pulse Chain Bridge and Hex staking zip files is bullish. Bitcoin required you to download an exe file and run software on your PC. It's a sign you're still early. Yeah, I think for me, I actually heard about Bitcoin very, very early on RT on Max Kaiser had a show on RT, and the problem I had was I just thought it was too hard. That's why I didn't really do much research into it. But imagine the missed opportunity just because of being lazy. So yeah, it is important learning these things like this stuff is important of downloading the Pulse Chain Bridge and Hex. It's important because if there's ever comes a time when these websites have to go down, if you know how to do this stuff yourself, you will be you'll be in a very, very powerful position. Yeah. Now I've had to kind of do stuff myself on the blockchain, And it's really cool. It's empowering, right? Because then you don't depend on, then you that's self-sovereignty. Moon math, how much would 1 million EHEX be in the bull run? Yeah, okay, let's jump. Let's see. Yeah, this ETF stuff. The thing about the XRP seems to now be in a very, very strong position after this, since they seem to be winning their case, and now there's talk of an XRP ETF. That's really cool. Today's retrace makes me bullish. That's Crypto 7. It's common to see a bit of end of the week profit taking in the bull markets. It builds structure. Did you see my bullish stream earlier? Awesome stuff. Okay, interesting times, guys. Interesting times, guys. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you guys for coming on, guys. And it's yeah, I said this before, but I'll say it again, right? Thank you for the support, guys. We have 31 people right now, and that's great, especially because I haven't made videos for the past time. And so when you guys hop on, this is yeah, you're definitely showing me lots of love by coming on and lots of support, and this definitely tells YouTube to shield the stream more. So I appreciate the love that you're showing. Thank you guys very much. And on our journey to making billions and billions and billions. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all well. Well, Norbert, you are coming late. We're almost closing. We're closing. We're closing. Come on, man. White paper, white paper. Everyone is excited about all the projects that are building, which is great news. And yeah, so it's a good time to be in crypto. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time. And yeah, obviously, financial advice, disclaimers, all of those important disclaimers. Philip M later. Yeah. Have you thought about opening a night group discussions? Always fun. Yeah. We'll talk about that. I think I'm going to try and stream at least 3 times a week. So we'll talk about all of that and set up all of that stuff. So that'll be great. So guys, yeah. Anyway, I'm heading out now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again next time.